So the first thing I wanted to talk about is, thank everybody for being here. We got uh, Alistair, Andrew, thank you too for being here. It's always a pleasure to see you guys, get to talk with you. And everybody else, it's nice to see you, Coy. It's been a while since we've seen you, so, welcome. Chris and Jennifer, welcome back. One of the things that we want to talk about now is we've got a couple things that we're working on slowly, and I'd like to say that we are plugging right along, but we're not really plugging along. We're just kind of doing stuff when and if we have time, because we all have our own lives outside of the the society. So one of the things that we've been talking about for probably a couple of years now or longer is redoing the Shindu, the newsletter. So we've said in the past what we would really like to do is go away from paper based and move to an all digital media. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to take clanmorrison.net, and we would like to host the periodical onto that page, and not necessarily a once a year article, but as content is created, our Shamar, who is our primary content creator currently, once she creates a content, we'd like to probably drop 1 or 2 articles a month onto that. And I don't want to limit that to just articles that she has created, but other articles and periodicals from all over the world that have anything to do with any Morrisons of notoriety, or just musicians, writers, just Morrisons in general, because there is a lot of content, and Morrison is a huge name around the world. So I don't know where she is if we've actually start generating content yet, but she knows that it will be coming soon. And I think what I would like her to do first is create something to read about the bridge. So one of the main things that's on our plate right now is that the bridge is in pretty, I don't want to quite say dire need of repair, but it is what it was erected in, was it 1990 or 2000-ish?
It was definitely 2000. My father died in 2000. He set it in motion. By the time it was built, he had died. So
it has been 22 and a half years since the bridge was finished, and it doesn't look like there has been any maintenance done to it in this time. And so being a bridge over salt water and a windy area, it definitely needs repairs. So Jen has been the spear point of contact over there. It has been inspected, and I believe we're waiting on an estimate for repairs. Is that correct?
That's correct. The estimate is hopefully going to be with us in the next couple of weeks. But I would say it's going to be over $10,000, and I guess it will be under 20 would be my expectation. There's some parts, some of the metal pieces, the crosswalk pieces need to be replaced. They're still okay, but they are getting to the point where they need to be replaced. Most of it is just paint and scrape work that needs to be done. So the estimate is due in a couple of weeks. Okay,
perfect. Do we know, have they told us, is the bridge still safe for foot traffic?
I believe it is still safe for foot traffic. I've got a friend who will check it out in about a month's time, and I'll have a personal view of it from that perspective.
Okay. It is also my understanding that you spent personal money to have this estimate done, and what we need to do is I think we've talked about this in the private chat, but we need to get you reimbursed for that. That's not something that you need to shoulder. So pretty quick, we do need to motion to take a vote for that, but I don't see why there would be any reason that anybody would say no to that.
Let me comment on that. The total amount, I forget the exact number, was something like $1,400 maybe. But I'm willing to wait until we get funding sorted out for the overall work that needs to be done. And
Okay.
I'm not in a big hurry, and it can come out of that. If that doesn't materialize, and if the clan wants to reimburse me some of it, that's fine. But I'm willing to wait.
Okay, so we'll table that, but we definitely don't need to forget. So if we do forget, please remind us that, hey, this is something that we also need to look into as well.
Yeah, I did go ahead and do that on my own regard because I felt it needed to get done, and we didn't have a vote to that effect. So if it just comes to me, it's okay.
Well, thank you for that. I know sometimes it's hard for us to get our act together. Like, we've got all our own personal lives, and sometimes this it gets put off to the side. But it doesn't need to get put off to the side for too long, because there's it definitely needs to be repaired so that our next generation has access to the area, and then go up there and pay their respects and do their history and all the learnings and whatnot that go on with that. So I kind of lost my train of thought because I was been driving all day. I had to go pick up my children from their grandmother's house. They spent about 2 weeks up there, so it was time for them to come on.
Well, first thing on your was the bridge. And is there anything further to say about the bridge? Is it obviously we all want to express our thanks to Jennifer for the work she's done so far. And clearly it's not the intention of this group that she be out of pocket at the end of it. So we need to look into the fundraising and look into whether or not we're going to find any grants anywhere to help defray some of the cost. If not, we probably have to look at doing some kind of fundraising through the Clan Society over here.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
And Andrew, just in that regard, this is along the lines of what you've been suggesting for quite some time, that these special things, and I need someone to step up to actually run that part of it. Okay. I do not want to run the fundraising piece of it, at least. And so we need to look for that person.
So as it sits right now, very, very recently, I want to say within the last month and a half, our PayPal nonprofit status has gone through, and people who are prospectively looking to join the society have started funneling their payments in through our PayPal. So if we do a fundraising event, we do have now the option to take money directly without people having to send in cash or checks, which makes things a lot easier. So as far as the fundraising is going to go, we are set up to take donations. And if you would like to make a donation, please feel free to give us a sponsorship for the bridge through the PayPal. We can also set up a Facebook. I do believe Facebook has a program that they don't take a percentage, and so we can do through PayPal, we can do through Facebook, and we'll start looking at the Facebook here pretty quick. But if you're watching this and you're not in the meeting right now and you would like to help us get the repairs that the bridge really needs, please feel free to reach out to us. Let us know what you would like to do, and we can go from there. Andrew, if you would, do you think that you could say something towards the bridge project that would help people who may not be an active part of the society but are just on the Facebook page, or just maybe coming through and watching the video because they're interested in what's going on? But a lot of people don't know. We've got more than 1,200 people on the Facebook page, but only about 600 or 700 active members, and most of those are not our Facebook page. So most of the people who have access to this video readily are not society members. So if you would let them know what the bridge is.
Okay, well, Junestian, or however you want to pronounce it, it's spelled Dun Eisdeen. Junestian is a very ancient, it's a fort on a stack, which is a little tiny island off a bigger island. So on the north of Lewis, the Isle of Lewis, in the Ness district or Niche district, in the north of Lewis, that was a very important area for Morrisons. There was a large concentration of Morrisons there, and the Breves were based in that district, in the Ness district. And anytime they were attacked, they retreated to, if they didn't want to fight initially, they retreated to this stack, this fort, Junestian, and it was impregnable because it was you could only climb up it at low tide. I have climbed up it at low tide before the bridge was built. Alistair's father, Rue, the former chief, climbed up it at low tide on another occasion. And it was a great place for Morrisons to visit from all over the world. Junestian is our war cry. It is one of the two mottos on the chief's arms. And it is something that's very important to Morrisons everywhere. So rather than everybody getting wet and trying to clamber up, which is quite difficult, especially, even when you were younger, the Clan Society helped fund the building of this bridge across in the year 2000. And there was some grant money that went into that as well. And there was a great opening of the bridge in 2000 or 2001, and we had the then member of the Scottish Parliament for the Western Isles, Alistair Morrison, come along, one of the speakers at the event.
So did Rosemary get home today then?
I'm sorry? Oh, well, maybe that was a cross line. Anyway, it was a good occasion for many of us, lots of good memories. And I suppose, these things don't last forever, whereas the stack seems to be determined to be there forever. And it's been the subject of great an archaeological dig by the Glasgow University archaeological, what's it called, guard research something. I'm sure Jennifer will remember if it's the full acronym, but GARD has done some great work on it. Glasgow University, led by the husband and wife. What are they? The Bannantines, is that the name?
Barrowmans.
And they did a wonderful report on it. So some of us have read that report. Glasgow University did their work. Anyway, it's important to us historically as a clan, and we would like to be able to have this bridge, which the Clan Society helped fund in the first place, kept in good order so that anyone coming from anywhere in the world gets the chance to go and step onto Junestian themselves without getting their feet wet. Does that cover it, or do you?
Can I add a little?
Hold on, brief interruption, technical issue. They seem to have reinstated their 40-minute time limit thing, because I'm getting a pop-up saying that this session ends. If we get disconnected, just go to the Facebook page. I'll make a part 2 post. There'll be a new link. So just click that. Continue.
Okay, just very quickly then. This is an area where we can take a higher profile because a lot of people are going to Lewis for all kinds of reasons. Mostly because it's just a wonderful place to go. And it is one of the tourist stops as long as there's a way to get there. So as long as that bridge is there, it funnels people to say, oh, this is what the Morrisons were up to, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. So it is a an important spot for us and for the local community.
Hey, I introduced myself. I say my little box is saying Suzanne Morrison, but that's obviously not me. That's my wife. I'm on her Zoom thing. But this is obviously a very important archaeological site. How much do you think we need? Just a couple of $1,000s to fix it?
Tống nước ra đó,
Anywhere up to
rồi nó dâng
20,000.
lên.
How much?
Ngay cái chỗ để
20,000.
nó chảy ra.
Well, I'm in Washington, and we have contacts with, as Andrew knows, we have contacts with the Scottish government here in Washington, and they give us a lot of money for Tartan Day. Don't know that to give us 20,000, but maybe we could get them to do something. I'd be happy to contact them and say, because that's obviously a very important archaeological site. And I was there in '99, and the bridge wasn't there. I walked as close as I could get to the edge, and it was one of those, those days in Lewis where the wind was blowing and the sheep were looking at me as I was walking across, and they had no idea what I was doing. But I couldn't get close to the edge. But I wish I could have. But it's an important archaeological site, and so let me see if I can contact the Scots at the British Embassy and see whether we can.
The key here is that we need someone who's going to undertake sort of the lead role in trying to organize the funding, because there are multiple sources that it's going to come from. So somebody has to step up and say, I'll be that central place. Then other people like yourself can talk to whomever, or organize a GoFundMe or whatever. But somebody needs to say, I'll do that.
So as the chairman of the organization, I will always have an open line of dialogue for anybody who would like to reach out to me and say, this is what we would like to do. And I can help do things, but this isn't a task that I could take on by myself. I
don't
know
think you should do it.
everybody.
No, it can't be you, Michael. You got a lot of other stuff.
Michael, would you
agree.
authorize me to contact the Scottish office at the British Embassy and see whether we get some money from them?
Yep, they put the 40-minute thing back. It started a countdown across the top of the screen.
It would be nice if anybody comes back in. All right, there's two of them.
How much? Let's see.
So, Chris, you're going to be working the Armigers tent?
I'm going to be
You are
working.
recording.
Yep, 2 tenths. 2 tenths. Yep.
Are they going to let Morrison be right next to you? I guess you had a strong arm into that.
They're working on that, but they're going to have to try and get that tent free because I'm not paying for 2. No, I'm not paying for the armature tent.
Oh, right.
Because I mean, Stone Mountain cost me like $350 roughly to just host the tent. And if I have to pay that for 2, they're out of luck. I'm not doing it.
Coy, that number that Chris just threw out, is that right around where you are with Grandfather Mountain as well?
For the tent, for both tents, it cost me $550.
Wow.
They include your tickets.
Yeah, it includes 4 tickets.
Yeah, Stone Mountain doesn't include the tickets. You got to pay for them separate.
Okay.
You get to go to the sponsors dinner, our reception, and
Yeah.
you get a little badge. That's it.
Yeah, we set up. I just don't. Once we set up, it's a long. 4 days is a long time to do.
Yeah.
So I don't go to those. I used to go to them. I used to go to the torch lighting ceremony.
The calling of the clans?
Yeah, it's just, it makes it just too long of a day. And I always just pass the word on anybody who's there that wants to do it. Have at it.
And Stone Mountains was held at the guest hotel or at their hotel, which is far from Stone Mountain, but it was 5 minutes for me. So I used to go. It's not 5 minutes anymore. So I'm not going.
Last year, we booked our hotel on Stone Mountain because I assumed that was where it was going to be held. But I went downstairs and I was asking the people, well, where's the banquet? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, the banquet for the Highland Games. And they're like, yeah, we don't know what you're talking about. And actually you asked me to go pick up the tickets. So I showed up at the front desk and they're like, we don't have any tickets for that guy here. So when I found out, it was like 45 minutes away and I was like, nuts to that. It only makes too much sense that it would be there in Stone Mountain Village somewhere, but no, like 45 minutes away.
Yep. But it's also,
unfortunately, I won't be able to.
Go ahead.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to make Grandfather Mountain this year or Stone Mountain. It looks like I have a 60-day outage at the nuke plant from September to November. And that pretty much wipes out. It wipes out the Highland Games. It wipes out my wedding anniversary. They did give me 3-day pass for my brother's wedding, but I don't get to take the kids trick or treating. We don't get to do anything, so it's kind of a bummer. And I'm going to be getting a pair of Harris Hawks in South Carolina at the end of July. So I won't be going to Grandfather Mountain because I won't be able to make that trip twice in 2 weeks. It is unfortunate because I was really looking forward to making Grandfather Mountain work this year.
That raises the question of where the AGM is this year.
I don't know. I had thought about that earlier, and I was hoping to make it Grandfather Mountain, and I may end up asking Chris to do that, since he is the only other person that I know has experience hosting the AGM. But unless we could find another venue, probably in between. Hell, I don't know. In between now and September, I know we're pretty close to all of that. So all of July is out for me, and then of course September, October, and the first portion of November. Does anybody know when the Queen Mary Games are?
Never heard of them.
Queen Mary Games is supposed to be a really nice games in California, held at the park where the Queen Mary ship is harbored.
It is about.
I've not had a chance to go, but I've wanted to go for a long time.
It is about time for something on the other side of the coast. Because what?
I don't know. Can you send a link to Andrew? I don't know if
I messaged it to him.
For my part, I don't think I'm going to be going to the AGM this year. Basically, no matter where you put it, unless it's within a very specific window, I'm not going to be in the country for most of the rest of the year.
How so when do you start school?
I start school early September, but I'm going to be gone for visiting family from June through July. So if I'm able, if we end up scheduling it in August sometime and I'm able to fly around, which I should be able to, I'll come out, but otherwise I'll be a bit too far away.
Get it?
I'm hearing August, so we have to look and see. There are a couple things on the West Coast in August. I'm not sure when the Enumclaw Games are. That's the ones just south of Seattle. And we do have a convener in Rich who's experienced. So that's a possibility. And if it's a question of getting Michael, money for you to get out there and back, we could probably come up with something.
Funding for me is not an issue. That y'all never have to worry about that for me. If I'm gonna go, I'm just gonna go. I've actually have wanted to, and I'm waiting for my daughters to get a little bit older, but just going around to where we know there are Morrison tents and just showing up uninvited and not introducing myself, just walk in and talk for about 20 or 30 minutes and leave, which is what seems like visitors always do.
I'm gonna try and go to Greenville Saturday and troll Lion. Lord Lion's gonna be there, so I'm gonna go troll his ass.
What's he gonna do?
Huh?
Or what's he doing there?
I have no idea. Yeah, I just know him and
He's just gonna
George.
be there.
Yeah, he's gonna be there, and one of the other officers of Lion Court's gonna be there.
You just go stand outside the building with a cardboard cutout that says we want hereditary arms.
No, I'm gonna wait for, I'm gonna introduce myself. Invariably, well, why don't you petition? I'm like, for the life arms? Yeah, no, I'd prefer real arms just to piss him off.
Say, I've only got 20 years left, man. Come on.
No.
I'm sorry. That was below the line.
I don't know. He said he's gonna retire, so we'll see what the next one does.
Well, it could be pretty quick. I hate to say that, but you know, the Queen isn't getting any younger, and he said he was going to go out when she passes away.
Mhm.
So maybe the next Lion will reverse some of his current.
Yeah, they always do everything a little bit different.
Alistair, when you go back up to Scotland, do you think you're going to climb the stacks? Or are you going to take the cheap way out and walk across the bridge?
I'm not actually sure that Dunashton is on the itinerary this year. This is kind of a heavy year for us. It's going to be my father's proper funeral out in Scotland. So.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Yeah. Not quite going to be making the trip to Lewis.
Mm-hmm. So is he going to be interred overseas or stateside?
Overseas.
Okay.
The same cemetery in Lewis.
The same cemetery, yes.
Right.
Yep. I think I'm not exactly sure where he's going, but it'll be in the same cemetery as his father and his grandfather. And
right.
Is there like a family mausoleum, or is he going to have his own spot?
It's not. There aren't mausoleums per se. It's more of a traditional. There are headstones, and we've got a bit of a Morrison corner going right now. We're hoping to be able to find a spot for him in that.
Good. I am actively making plans to be in New Hampshire in August. So the day before the ceremony will be the 15th anniversary of when Sarah and I first started dating. So I'm trying to convince her to go with me to that. It's also about a week and a half after my first child starts kindergarten. So my wife is not excited to be taking a trip. Well, she's going to be doing the, walking the girl to school thing, and just probably being sad that the house is half empty around that time. So as of now, she doesn't want to go with me, and I'm going to end up going by myself and taking a haunted tour through Salem alone.
Say that date again. I missed the date.
August 26th, I do believe.
In New Hampshire.
Yes, and there should be invites going out to some of the officers physically soon. It is not open to the general public, though, just as a note. Only to those who have received invitations.
Understood.
Well, we were talking to somebody earlier who had mentioned reaching out to, I think he said, the embassy. Yes. And I don't know if he made it across, to this meeting or not. Hopefully he will reach back out. Of course, I can't authorize him to take or handle money on behalf of the society. But if he has a contact and he's seeing this video later down the line, please feel free to reach out to that person. And if you want to do the legwork on that contact, I have no problems with that. If they want to offer a grant or a sponsorship or a donation, we would gladly take their money. And if they get to that point, then we will make it so that they can transfer that money through legal means, and that would be greatly, appreciated. Anybody else who's watching that, I guess we could just say we're going to go ahead and kick off our fundraiser for the Dunestian Bridge project. And if you've watched the first part of the video, then you'll know how important it is to Clan Morrison. And if you haven't seen the first video, go back and watch it. But in short, the Dunestian Bridge is an archaeological site that is wholly important to Clan Morrison around the world. And it is going on 23 years without repair. So that's our big project on plate right now. Our second thing that we need is we are digitalizing the newsletter, and we're hoping to be able to start putting out periodicals on clanmorrison.net. As the periodicals are available, we'll also include links to other things that have to do with just Morrisons of notoriety around the world. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the meeting, but I will say this: if you were just now coming, this is the first time you've ever seen a Clan Morrison Society meeting. This is something that we do occasionally. We should do it more often than we do, but when we're able to get everybody together, we like to talk and just discuss the things that need to be done for the society to continue going. We're always looking for volunteers, of people who want to join the society, people who want to help out, because as some of our members age out of being able to contribute to the board of directors in the society, we need to be able to replace those people. And if you're able to just help in anything, we would, gladly take it. Thanks everybody for being here. Alistair, it was nice to see you again. Coit, thanks for being here. Chris and Jennifer, is always pleasant to see you, and everybody else who's here, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Michael.
We'll try to do another one of these. We like to say that we do these once a month, but it's usually about once a quarter in realistically. So I'll see you guys when there's something different to talk about. And as always, it was a pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Michael.
Later.